Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Hannah. I'm a flight attendant for a major US airline, and today I am starting a 4-day trip. It is currently 5:40 in the morning. My sign-in is not until 8:26, but I live an hour and a half away from the airport, and that's without traffic. Usually between 8 and 9 is when traffic is heaviest in Charlotte, so I have to account for that. So I'm trying to leave my house by 6. I'm just packing up my last minute toiletries, and then I need to go downstairs and pack up my lunchbox, and then we'll head to the airport to get this 4-day started. So this is the top part of the coffee maker that I was trying to explain to you guys in my last video, but it brews on the top part, and then you just click the little button and it goes into the canister that I take to work with me. I love you. See you in a couple days. It is 8:10. I just parked in the employee parking lot, so I have 16 minutes till my sign-in. 21 if you count the 5-minute grace period, which I did have to use last week, but that's what it's there for, in case you're running just a few minutes late. The nice thing about Charlotte is if you sign in just a couple minutes late, you're still gonna make it to your gate on time. There are some airports that we have, like Dallas and Miami, not so much. You probably wouldn't be able to, I mean, you probably could, but you'd be cutting it a lot closer than in Charlotte. Charlotte is so much smaller than those airports, and everything is so much closer together, which is really nice. But let's get our stuff together so that we can go get day one started. Easy day today. We just work one leg to DC. We do have a 2-hour sit, which is not my favorite, but that's okay. And then we just deadhead to Dallas. So not a bad day one at all. I had a little snack when I got on the plane. We were on the 320 for our first leg, and my bag hook wouldn't fit in the bin the right way, like the bins wouldn't close with it, so I had to take it off. But flight to DC was super chill. I only had 12 people in first class, which is really easy, and hardly anybody wanted anything. I was supposed to just give the granola bars for the snack, but when they give me a bunch of each thing, like the one I'm supposed to have and the downline, I just offer both because I know it won't mess up the next flight. But I went down to the crew room because I needed to heat up my food, and I would have stayed down there longer, but I needed to use the bathroom, and the bathroom down there, you had to have a code, and we didn't get the code. And when I asked the security people that were down there, they wouldn't give me the code, so I was like, all right, never mind, I'll just go upstairs and use the bathroom. Went to catch the deadhead flight. I didn't get my window seat, which the people in my row made me get out of my seat like 5 times on that flight, and that's why I always choose the window. I like to just get on the plane, sit, and not have to get up till we land, but I will gladly take an aisle seat over a middle seat. But that was our easy day one. We just got to the hotel. It is a little bit after 4 o'clock. I would like to go to the gym, but my ankle, well, it's not even really my ankle, it's like underneath my ankle on my foot, has been just hurting lately. And it's weird because it doesn't hurt when I'm walking on it so much, but I'm afraid if I walk on the treadmill for a long time that it'll start to bother me. So I don't think I'm gonna go to the gym because I don't want to irritate it even more than it already is. I mean, it feels better today than it did yesterday, but it's still a little bit off. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Our layover is not long, but it's not crazy short either. I do have a couple hours that I can try to kill, so I am gonna heat up. I have some pasta, so I'm gonna heat that up in my Hot Logic, and I don't know, I may read for a little bit, I may study. I still haven't taken my private test, so maybe I'll study for that for a little bit, because I'm just worried if I go to the gym that I'll irritate my foot. So what I may do, we have a long layover on day 3, so maybe if my foot feels fine by then, I can go work out, and then I have plans for my layover tomorrow, so maybe that's what I'll do, which is a bummer because I'm kind of motivated to work out right now, but I just don't want to mess up my foot. Or I don't want to bother it even more than it needs to be bothered. So let me get out of this uniform and then figure out how I'm gonna spend the next couple of hours. I hadn't done my devotions for the day, so that was the first thing I did. And then I just kind of rotated off of reading a chapter of my book and then studying a little bit for school. This is the app I use, and it basically just asks you questions that you could get asked on the test, and then you pick the answer and see if you get the correct answer. So did that for a little while and then ate my dinner. And then after eating my dinner, I locked myself in the room, washed my face, brushed my teeth, and then called it a night. Good morning. It is day 2. It is 5:30. I just need to pack up all my food in my lunch bags. I went back to my original lunchbox that I started with, which is the e-bag. I don't know what size it is, but it's just a big open thing. I switched from it because I don't know, at one point it felt like my other bag was holding more food, but when I switched back to it, this one seems to hold like refrigerated food better, and it also holds my coffee canister better. So I switched back to this in recent weeks, and it just seems to be doing a better job than my other one. I don't know, but once I get that all packed up, I'm gonna go head down to catch the van. The van that we're taking is just like a scheduled hotel van that runs on a loop, and sometimes they leave earlier than they're supposed to. Our van time's 5:40, but I've had them leave like 2 or 3 minutes early, so I just want to make sure I get down there in case that's the case for this one. I don't want to miss the van even though I'm there on time. So we're gonna get down a little bit early, make sure that we don't miss that, so that we can get day 2 started off on the right foot. We started our day off with a Houston turn. Our flight to Houston had 46 open seats, and on these quick flights, it's just the one snack that we give out. I also ate my breakfast on this flight. I brought some breakfast pizza, which looks kind of crazy, but it is so good. On our way back to Dallas, we had 76 open seats, and we got into Dallas 25 minutes early, but the plane on our gate had maintenance, and so we had to wait for them to figure that out and push it back, so we ended up getting into the gate 4 minutes late. We had a 2-hour sit and then switched on to the baby bus for our flight to Columbia, South Carolina. I had meals in first class, but I'm so used to having 20 seats instead of 8 seats. So usually I'm like hustling when I have meals, but it was just like the slowest, most easy service. I was just standing in the corner waiting for meals to heat up, waiting for people to finish, just so much downtime. We just got to the hotel. It is 4:35 in the afternoon. We have a short layover tonight, even shorter than yesterday. Our van is at 4:05, so I'm already under 12 hours till we leave tomorrow, but I'm in Columbia. I'm in my home away from home. So I'm meeting up with a friend. We're gonna go do dinner, and then the Gamecock lacrosse team is playing Clemson tonight, so we're gonna go to that game for just a little bit. Not gonna stay the whole time because the game doesn't start till 7, so that's probably when I would need to get in the bed, but that's okay. You guys know my saying, I'll get sleep later, it's fine. If I get to go see friends, then I will push the boundaries when it comes to how much sleep I need on trips. So I'm gonna change clothes. My friend just texted me that she just got off work, so she's gonna go home and change. So I'm gonna change clothes really quick. I might try to do one of my devotions before she gets over here. I also need to figure out if I'm meeting her somewhere or if she's gonna come pick me up. We haven't really worked out all the details yet, but let me change clothes. Let me put my food in the fridge and then see if I can maybe get a devotion in really quick before I meet up with her. It was such a gorgeous day outside. It was 75 and sunny, so we went to Savage Craft, which is a brewery, and they have a bunch of outdoor seating and really good food, so went there. If you guys have seen any of my football videos, then you might recognize Kate. I tailgate with her, and then she sits behind me in football games. But after that, we went to the lacrosse game, stayed till about halftime, and then went to Moxie on the way back. It's an old bank that they turned into a hotel, and they have a really nice rooftop bar. We ran into some more friends there that I sit with at the game and then that tailgate with us, so that was cool. But here is the view from the rooftop, a nice view of the State House. I stayed out a little bit later than anticipated. It is 9 o'clock, but honestly, I feel like I kind of knew that that was going to happen to begin with. Anytime I'm here, it's so hard for me to want to come back to the hotel because I just love Columbia so much. It is literally my like home away from home. I feel like I grew up here. I started college at the age of 17 and I was here until I was 24. So a lot happened in those years that I lived here, and so Columbia is just a piece of me. And I also have so many people I know that still live here, so yeah, I love it here. If I lived anywhere other than Greenville, it would probably be here because I just love it so much. But I need to get in the bed because time is not on my side right now. So I will see you guys tomorrow for day 3. Good morning, guys. It is day 3. I just finished packing everything up. It is 3:58. I have 7 minutes till van, so I'm gonna go ahead and go downstairs. The sad thing is we had to get up so early to work this flight, but once we get to Dallas, we're gonna have a 3-hour sit. So that's kind of a bummer, but I'm not as tired as I thought I would be. It might hit me later in the day, but as of right now, I'm feeling pretty good. Probably because I've been up and moving around getting ready, but we'll see how I feel as the day goes on. But let's go catch the van and get day 3 of flying started. We had a little maintenance issue in Columbia, but luckily it was able to get fixed on the ground because otherwise, who knows what would have happened because Columbia is not a maintenance base, so that probably would have caused a lot of issues. But we still left a minute early and got in 22 minutes early to Dallas. On that flight, we did have a breakfast service in first class, but it's shelf stable because the plane sits overnight and Columbia doesn't have catering, so we do this oatmeal breakfast so everybody gets the same thing, and we mix the oatmeal with the hot water to make it, and then this is what the rest of the tray looks like. Once I finished the breakfast service, I got a lot of my book read, and then we went down to the crew kitchen in between our flights. During our sit, they have food for airline employees at a discounted rate, which is really nice. We did have maintenance on our flight to Des Moines, so we ended up getting in 25 minutes late. I just got to the hotel. It is 1:15. I'm so tired, but I know if I try to lay down and take a nap, I won't be able to sleep tonight. Even if I don't nap, like even if I don't get a nap in, knowing what time I have to go to bed tonight for our sign-in tomorrow, I just won't be able to go to bed early enough, and then I'll be in the same predicament I'm in today. So I'm just gonna chill today. I don't remember if I told you guys yesterday, but I like re-tweaked my foot. It was feeling fine all day yesterday. And then when we got to the hotel, I was getting out of the van and I wasn't even stepping down or anything. I just walked over in the van and a sharp pain immediately went in my foot, and I was like, what in the heck? I thought it was getting better. So I would have gone to the gym, but I don't know. I don't want to like do anything to irritate it more at the gym. So I'm gonna do my devotions for the day. The crew is gonna meet downstairs at 5 just to have dinner at the hotel because it's cold outside. So I don't think we're gonna go walk anywhere because yeah, it's a little bit colder than we all thought, and I didn't plan for that because when I originally looked at the weather here, it said it was gonna be in the 60s and it's like 40. So I don't have any, like I have a long sleeve shirt, but it's very light. So I don't think that would be warm enough to be walking to where all the restaurants are here. So we just decided it'd be easier to go downstairs, eat at the restaurant here. We do get a discount, so might as well take advantage of that and avoid the cold weather. But yeah, after my devotions, I don't know, I'm close to finishing that book, so maybe I'll try to finish that and then download a new one on my Kindle. Maybe I'll watch some TV. I am on season 6, I think, of House, and I think there's 8 total, so I'm getting close to getting through it. So maybe I'll watch some of that. I don't know, I don't really have any plans until 5 p.m. So we'll see what I get into. But let me get out of this uniform and just kind of relax for a little bit. I forgot to take videos, but I did finish my book before going down to dinner. And then after dinner, I had to have maintenance come up to my room because my toilet wasn't flushing right. So I watched a little bit of the baseball game while I waited for them to fix that. Good morning. It is day 4, go home day. It has been a nice trip so far, but I'm ready to be back home. I'm ready to sleep in my own bed. And I would say ready to not have an alarm, but tomorrow is Sunday and I'm doing production team with my church, so I will have to set an early alarm again. But Monday and Tuesday I'll be able to sleep in, which will be nice. But we have like 7 minutes till van, so I'm gonna go ahead and head downstairs and get this one last leg of flying started. I've never seen a blue oven before on our plane, so that was interesting. Also, I had added some extra coffee into my canister so that it would last me for the 4 days, because usually it only lasts me 3. But made our way back to Charlotte. We did have about 45 open seats, so that was nice and easy for go home day. We were back on the 320, so I was back to my 12 friends in first class, and we did have some new breakfast items in the basket that I hadn't seen. Started my new book and then made the drive home to go see the Ozman. Are you happy I'm home? Yeah, you happy mommy's home? I just got home. It is 12 o'clock. We got in 25 minutes early from our flight, so I got home a little bit earlier than I would have, which is nice. Are you happy? Yeah. But I don't really have any plans for today. Probably just gonna relax, maybe watch the baseball game a little bit later. My nephew mentioned something about playing golf, so maybe we'll go do that. I'm not sure. But before I end this video, I did have a few recurring questions last week when I dropped that news about flight school. So a lot of you guys are asking what's going to happen with the channel when that happens. As of right now, I am going to try to keep it active. I'm going to try to just post like maybe regular updates on how school is going and things that I'm like currently working on or learning in school. That's kind of the idea right now. And then once I get into school, we'll see how often I can keep that up. A lot of you guys asked how this even came about. So this is something I have been thinking about doing for the last like few years, really ever since I got hired as a flight attendant. I always kind of had it in the back of my head of like, should I just switch over to the pilot side? But it's a big financial commitment, so I was always really hesitant to do that and take out the loan to be able to go to school. But I don't know, I just felt like lately things seem to be pushing me more towards that, and the timing just felt right. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna go full force and just commit and get it done and do it. I think those were the two like main questions that people were asking. Thanks to everyone who was congratulating me this past week on that. I really appreciate it. But yeah, that is all for this video. As always, any questions, comments, whatever, put them in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.